So the title of our talk today is Nature Governance, How Governments and Corporations Are Attentive to the Voice of Nature. But it is also important, how could they be more attentive? Corporations have the capability for so much good, but pretty words with no action. That breeds apathy, that breeds deceit, greenwashing. We all know that harms to nature, harms to people, and the state and structure of our law and governance systems are all interconnected. How can Earth law address this?
Most of our important environmental legislation came into being in the 1970s when there was these big industrial accidents, rivers burning, mercury poisoning. It was clear that something had to be done in order to make industrial development safe for humans. In the ontology of separation, we put the economy first, and then we make society to serve the economy and nature to serve society. You'll see many slides like this where there's a hockey stick, growth in energy. If we had continued the way we were in 2010, that was the high mark. And then current policies have brought that down, but it's still increasing. Most of the causes of environmental degradation, including greenhouse gas emissions, are legal. In other words, given the present state of the law, it is legal to destroy the planet. So the other way is to put Earth first, an ontology of connection, entanglement, and mutuality. And society is dependent on the Earth, and the economy serves the needs of society.
I got together with my partner, Vicki Benjamin, and we thought, okay, what could we do with our skill sets in the capital markets to try to advance biodiversity as an investment theme? Most investment advisors take a purely financial approach. They analyze stocks from the perspective of financial performance and valuation. They then say, okay, let me see what bell or whistle I can hang on this to call it an ESG strategy. We would argue that we think management teams that understand the significance of biodiversity to the continuation of their businesses and that there are business opportunities in this, that those management teams are going to outperform over time. We pick industries based upon their exposure to the 5 key drivers of biodiversity loss. We perform a social and governance screen, and then we focus environmental screen on the companies that make it through that social and governance screen. And that focuses on things like environmental issues along the value chain, how they manage their supply chain, eco-efficiency, water risk, and so forth. From those leaders, we now create a portfolio of 60 to 90 companies that we think have the best financial opportunity for outperformance over the next 18 to 24 months. It's exactly opposite of how most firms do this. That we can get alpha in the industry is outperformance over your index. That we can get alpha out of that part of it and also out of the back part, which is our financial piece. And our analysis suggests that we do.
I'm going to tell you a story. And that's the story of Faith in Nature. It's a UK-based eco-beauty company. They create products that come directly from the earth. But that's an extractive relationship. So how do we make it a regenerative, relational, reciprocal partnership? They suggested that we bring nature as a CEO, and they reached out to Lawyers for Nature, a sister organization based in the UK, and to the Earthal Center. Grant suggested that a CEO would be far too involved in operational matters, so let's make nature a non-executive director. I was given the remarkable opportunity to step in as proxy for nature as director. And I want you to focus on the wording here. It's not a nature director, right? It's not a director of nature. It's nature as director. There was a lot of brainstorming, blue sky thinking, because what is happening today is not so much an ecological crisis, it's a crisis of humanity. And it's a crisis of imagination. We can't seem to be able to imagine a world that is different from what it is now, because it's psychological, because it's spiritual, because it's about the heart and emotions. And we have taught ourselves as a community to be completely distant, separated, divided from our own emotions, from our own connection to each other, and to the broader world. So it's not so much about healing the world or healing the planet. It's about healing humanity. How do we heal the human community? Through nature governance, what we are learning to do, because it's not a destination, we're not going to get anywhere. We just have to learn to be in the moment, in the present, embodying what it is to be alive. Just one thing. Do you realize, or do we realize, that we are the only species on Earth that has to justify our presence, that has to justify being alive, that has to pay to be alive, that has to pay to have fun, that has to pay to have relationships, that has to pay to have children? That's this connection. We are part of the earth. We are plants, we are flowers, we are gardeners. We need to understand that we are part of this beautiful garden that is the earth.